So, what do you want to be when you grow up? How many people have been asked that question at some point in their lives? Or a similar question? Yeah. I remember my answer in second grade was a famous shoe designer. In high school, as college got closer and closer and graduation was approaching, I had to start thinking, do I want to be a physical therapist or do something in medicine? I ended up settling on nutrition, and I came to Oneonta as a dietetics major. But shortly after, I discovered physics, and I did a complete 180, and I ended up graduating with a double major in physics and math. My passion for physics and my dream to become a physics professor brought me through Oneonta and into the middle of my PhD at Yale when I had a realization that changed my whole career outlook. There are so many huge problems in the world, and my background in physics and my experiences at Oneonta have given me the tools to help solve them. I realized that I can't personally stand by when, for example, the world is on the verge of a climate catastrophe. So now I plan to finish my PhD and then try to make a difference through a career that more directly influences policy. But I don't know yet what that's going to look like for me, so I suppose you could say I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But Oneonta gave me so many opportunities to go all in with physics. And these experiences taught me truly what I am capable of. That's why I have confidence going into the next stage of my career, even though I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Today I want to tell you about 2 lessons that I learned while I was at Oneonta that I carry with me now at Yale and that I will continue to carry with me in my future career. So lesson number 1 is people want to share their passions. So introduce yourself. When I first started my physics major, since I was switching from nutrition, I was a bit behind on coursework. But the chair of the physics department, Dr. Fox, was willing to help me catch up. Dr. Fox is one of the most passionate physicists I know. And my passion, in turn, gave him the energy to spend hours and hours of his free time to eventually teach me advanced physics topics. He was happy to share with me his passion for finding a universal language to describe the laws of nature, as long as I was passionate about learning it. And I was. This, in fact, is the topic of my PhD dissertation. And my experience in the math department was just as positive. 2 professors in particular, Dr. Brown and Dr. Jones, made being a math major an absolute joy. Every day when I went into the math department, I wanted to talk to them, and they were delighted to teach me cool new topics in math in their areas of expertise. And this experience of learning advanced physics and math directly from professors here at Oneonta gave me confidence going into my PhD at Yale. 1, because I felt more prepared to keep up with my colleagues there, but also because I saw just how powerful passion can be in connecting people. And I have found that the world's leading physicists that I've met at Yale have been happy to talk to me about physics if I just ask a question or introduce myself. And now, as I transition into a new career, I'm not afraid to seek out leaders who are affecting change in the real world. I have advocated for economic justice in the city of New Haven at the Connecticut State Assembly, and I've introduced myself to the mayor to talk about sustainability in our city. I'm not afraid to keep doing these things that might seem scary, because I know that I can make a connection if I start from a place of our shared passions. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is nothing ventured, nothing gained, so just go for it. Shortly after starting my physics major, a couple of professors told me about an opportunity called Research Experience for Undergraduates, which is a program for students at smaller colleges like Oneonta to do summer research internships at big universities like Cornell or the University of Chicago. So I tried applying in my freshman year, but I didn't get anything. In my second year, I worked hard and I applied again to a bunch of placements, and I was accepted to go to the University of Notre Dame. That summer was an awesome experience. I did nuclear physics research full-time, and I made great friends along the way. While I was there, I let my curiosity get the better of me one day, and I was looking into conferences where I might be able to present the research that I was working on at Notre Dame. And for one wild moment, I had the guts to email the scholarship office at Oneonta and ask them to help me fund a trip to Sicily so I could go to the International Summer School on Experimental Nuclear Astrophysics. And I figured I just might as well try. And to my surprise, there was a fund for students to go to conferences just like this. So I applied, I talked to my supervisor at Notre Dame, and he was supportive. And then I decided to reach out to the conference organizers in Sicily and ask them if I could have a reduced conference fee since I was just an undergraduate. And the craziest thing happened. 2 researchers from Sicily who were organizing the conference just happened to be at Notre Dame that day. And so I went in and I met them, and they gave me the final okay to start planning my trip. Obviously, as you can imagine, studying physics on the Mediterranean coast was absolutely amazing. I swam in the sea with other physicists, and I ate great food, and I learned from cutting-edge researchers from around the world. And this experience was only possible because I took a leap of faith, and I started by seeking help from Oneonta. I was able to travel the world during my time here because I just kept asking, even though it might have seemed scary, and even though I thought I might not be able to do it, I've learned that it's always worth trying. And I found this to be the case being at Yale as well. In the beginning of my time at Yale, one professor encouraged me to apply to the Department of Energy Computational Science Fellowship. A really long name, but basically it's a scholarship for graduate students who are going to be using supercomputers to do their science research. And so this seemed really intimidating to me because I had learned computer programming through a couple of astronomy research projects that I did here at Oneonta with Dr. Nolenberg in the physics department. But I wasn't sure if I could take it to the next level, let alone get a scholarship to use the biggest supercomputers in the United States. But I applied anyway, and I won it. And now I am using those supercomputers. And by the end of this summer, I will have had 4 years of full funding and PhD stipend paid for by the Department of Energy. And as I continue in my career, I'll benefit from the network of scientists that I've met and been able to work with through this program. And now, as I'm pivoting into a new career, I face the prospect of job applications, like actual adulting. And one thing that I know I'm going to apply for is the National Science and Technology Policy Fellowship, which is a 1-year placement in Washington, D.C., where PhD graduates use their science backgrounds to help policymakers on Capitol Hill. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I'm going to apply, because if I don't apply, I definitely won't get it. And if I do, I might end up finding my perfect career, or who knows, meeting a senator who will become my new role model. So these 2 lessons, find people with your shared passions and just go for it, can be summarized with one statement: screw imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is defined as the persistent disbelief that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved through one's own efforts or skills. I have felt imposter syndrome since I started studying physics. And everyone feels imposter syndrome at some point in their careers or in their lives. Maybe even some of you here today relate to those feelings. But I'm here to tell you that if you're feeling imposter syndrome, that's okay. That's even a good thing, because it means you're pushing yourself to reach your potential. So I give you permission to tell your imposter syndrome to sit down so you can go out there and be yourself, introduce yourself to people with your shared passions, and if you want something, to just go for it. So that's what I've learned at Oneonta, and when I reflect back on my time here, I have a lot of fond memories. My college years were a time of exploration, and for you, they will be as well. And I'm sure that regardless of what you choose to do, you will have a great time and come out on the other side with your own life lessons. Thank you.